Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Codeman Movies. Guys, when did I post a video? Yesterday, I think it was. It's number 46. I want to get up to 52. I have a few last-minute videos that I want to do by the end of the year. Today, right now, this video is going to be the most disappointing, not disappointing, the most surprising movies for me of the year. I'm going to do another video on most disappointing movies of the year. I'm going to do my top 10 worst of the year. I'm going to do my top 10 best of the year. I'm going to do a video talking about movies I've seen since, what would that have been, Monday, because I've seen quite a few movies actually since Monday. And then I have one more kind of surprise video by the end of the year, kind of recapping the entire year essentially. So I'm going to try to get 6 more videos up within, 2 more days. I can do it, right? It's going to happen. So right now, we're going to talk about the top 10 most surprising. I'm going to put that up tonight. By tomorrow morning, I'm going to hopefully have a video up for disappointing ones. I might do 2 of them right now, get it done over with, post them at different times. And then top 10 best, top 10 worst, and then movies of the week. And yeah, busy week, guys. But I'm hoping to have those up so that I can have 52 videos up by the end of the year so that I can say that I've done on average 1 per week, which is really what I want to do. So let's talk surprising movies that I saw this year. I have my drink, of course. It is an amaretto sour because I wanted nothing too crazy tonight. So grab your drinks. First movie I want to talk about, guys, is Weird Al, the Al Yankovic movie, however you want to call it. This is a weird movie. It's a movie that is on Roku, so immediately I'm just kind of not sure about it, I guess you could say. And Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al is not something that would necessarily, make me think, hey, that looks like Weird Al. He definitely could be a good Weird Al. But it is Daniel Radcliffe. He's amazing. I don't know why I doubted him, and I did for some reason. I'll completely admit that. But dang, is this an interesting movie. It's a fun movie. It's definitely Weird Al Yankovic's kind of a movie. And it totally worked for what it was. So this was definitely a huge surprise for me. No way at all was I expecting this movie to be as surprising as it was. It's not in my top 10 of the year, but it got pretty dang close. It definitely is in the honorable kind of mentions for me because this movie is so funny, so interesting, so weird, and it's kind of a biopic, but it's also kind of a biopic kind of fantasy. Such an interesting movie. If you haven't checked out Weird Al, all these movies that I'm going to talk about, which they're not in any particular order, they're all ones I think you should check out before you do your top 10s of the year, if you do that like me, because I'm crazy. I don't know, maybe if you do it, you're not crazy, though. I'm just crazy. You should definitely check these out, I think. They're just movies that I didn't see coming or thought were going to be garbage, and they ended up being good. So that's my first one, is Weird Al. Smile. This was a movie that I had only seen the teaser trailer for. And everyone else who had seen the regular trailer said it looked absolutely stupid. I thought the teaser trailer looked interesting, and I just like the idea that someone smiling at you is scary and dangerous. That poster right there is just creepy enough as it is. And I guess I wasn't super surprised by this one because I really liked the teaser. Everyone who saw the other trailers didn't like it. I remember a certain friend of mine that loves movies. She was saying how stupid it looked. And I went, oh my God, this movie is actually so good. It is so interesting. And I love every second of this movie. There are questions, of course, that I had with it, but it's a horror movie. And you know what? Who cares? That's not the point of it. This movie is so beautifully done, so beautifully acted. Just the direction of this movie is so interesting. And I absolutely love this movie. I think this movie might actually be in my top 10 of the year. I haven't fully figured it out yet. I'm still trying to watch some movies. We'll see what happens. But Smile is such a great movie. And if you have not checked out Smile, for the love of God, check out Smile, especially if you like horror movies and you liked a movie, something like It Follows. If you liked It Follows, this is a movie for you to watch. It is so good. I love Smile so much. Next up, guys, is Dog. I remember seeing the trailers for this movie, or at least one of the trailers, because I try not to watch trailers, guys. I really don't. But after I see a trailer, I don't feel bad about necessarily seeing it again, you know? And I remember seeing the trailer for Dog and going, that's going to be cheesy as heck. I'm going to enjoy parts of it because it's about a dog. And it's going to be predictable, and it's not going to be anything spectacular. It's a February movie. It's not going to be anything good. I really did enjoy this movie. It is very heartwarming. Yes, there's some predictability into it. Yes, it's cheesy and stuff like that, but it was surprisingly really good, and I surprisingly really really liked it. Uh, it does do all the things that a dog movie does, but Channing Tatum also co-directed this, I believe, with somebody else. I forget who he co-directed with, but the direction actually in it was pretty well done. I'm not gonna lie. I really did enjoy this movie, and yeah, it did get me a little teary a couple times. And the dynamic between the dog and Channing Tatum was really great. There was some really great humor in this movie, and while I haven't seen it a second time necessarily, in fact, the three movies I already talked about, I have not seen a second time. They've stuck with me. And this one coming out in February, literally almost a year ago now at this point, I can't believe it stuck with me as much as it has. Uh, I just really like this one. If you haven't checked out Dog and you really like dogs, this is definitely a movie for you to check out. If you're a fan of Channing Tatum, this is a movie for you to check out. If you like friendship movies, this is a movie to check out. If you like movies, I don't know, if you just want a happy movie that's not super, super sad. I mean, there's sad moments in this movie, but it's nothing, it all ends happy by the end. This is a good movie to watch. This is a really enjoyable movie that I highly recommend. If you check the box on any of those categories I just said, check it out. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Now, I was interested by this movie. It's A24, which for me has been hit or miss. There's been a lot of really great A24 movies, though, but there's been some overly weird ones that I don't love. I didn't know any of the actors in this movie besides Pete Davidson, which for me is not necessarily a positive. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other movies that I've loved of his. King of Staten Island was okay. So yeah, that was about it, guys. That's all I had going into it. I don't know the director or none of that. I was so surprised by this movie. This movie is dark. Yes, it is also funny though. It is. It's also a movie about people that are all these people are kind of rich, unlikable brats, and I didn't like them, and I still surprisingly like the movie. It's hard for me sometimes to watch a movie with unlikable people, and they gave me enough, I guess, in this movie that I still found everyone in this movie to be likable enough that I could keep watching. And just such an interesting experience. I've watched this one twice now. This is the first one I think I've watched twice. And I just have so much fun for it. It's such an interesting idea of it. It's kind of a whodunit in a sense, really. And the twist at the end had me rolling with laughter both the times I've watched it. I love the twist ending. If you haven't seen the movie, I won't spoil it yet because I know not everyone's seen this one, but if you like, it's not really a horror movie per se. I would say it's more of a thriller, but still, the things that happen in this movie are just insane, and I loved every second of it. Just such an interesting, enjoyable, fun movie. And I had a blast. I really did with this one. And I just could not believe how many times I was laughing during this movie about it is a whodunit in a sense. I guess I shouldn't be so surprised that I was laughing at it as much as I did. But I was not expecting, I was thinking this was going to be a full-fledged horror movie, and it's more of a whodunit thriller comedy, dark comedy. And so good. If you haven't checked out Bodies, 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 you really should. Next up is X. I was interested in this movie. Again, A24. I did not, I don't even know if I saw a trailer for this one, honestly. And I don't know. I knew really nothing about it, just that it was a horror movie. Again, I think who's in this movie that I know? Brittany Snow. I think that's the only actress I knew that was really in the movie. Mia Goth, I think I maybe had heard of her, maybe have seen a movie of hers, but I didn't really know anything about her. Boy, what an interesting movie this was. Uh, the fact that the first hour is basically just porno is really interesting. And then when things just kind of start going crazy, and you have that whole plot point with the old lady and the old man, and where things go from there, what a surprising movie. And I think this one came out around April. I've seen this one a couple times. The fact that this movie also, in the end credits, gives us a teaser for a sequel, and by what was it? It would have been September. We had gotten the sequel to this movie. The camera's a little crooked, isn't it? Hold on, let me fix you. Is that better? That does not look better. Let's try again. I'm always fixing stuff. Oh, god dang it. That looks a little better, doesn't it? Guys, you can really see that I'm going bald. It's so sad. Anyways, yeah, that looks a little better. Little better. Little better. Maybe it's not perfect, but you know what? I'm not going for anything here. Yeah, guys, the fact that we got a sequel in September, like not far, what was that, 5-6 months after X, the prequel to it, just incredible. And I'm so excited for a third. I don't know if they've announced a release date for that yet. I'm guessing now at this point it's going to be 2023. It would have been really cool if we had gotten like X in January, Pearl in May, and then Maxine in December or something like that. I don't know. Just fascinating that we are getting this cinematic movie verse, horror movie verse within a year, and we already have 2 movies in. Just, I love it. And this movie was, again, the fact that it's kind of a porno, but then it's also a gory horror movie at times, and just so weird. This movie is very weird, but such an enjoyable movie. I really did enjoy X. I think I enjoyed Pearl more, and that one will not be showing up on this list just because I had already seen X, and I I wasn't as surprised by it because I knew X was so good. Was I surprised that I enjoyed Pearl a little bit more? Maybe. Yes, I would say yes. Not even maybe. It's a yes. I definitely was shocked that I enjoyed the sequel more than the original that already came out in the same year. Just insane how this is all working out. But I love Pearl. I love X. Both these movies are fantastic. If you love horror movies, check this one out. If you like pornos, check it out. That was a weird sentence. Scream 5. Now, I have this on my list for a few different reasons. A, it's the 5th in the franchise. B, this is the first one without Wes Craven. C, it's doing that thing where it's bringing back the legacy cast and the rebooted cast, which they kind of did for Scream 4, I guess you could say. But again, Wes Craven was behind the camera for that. And I think Scream 4 is really enjoyable. No, it's not as great as the first or the second. I think it's better than the third, though. Third was probably the most forgettable Scream so far, in my opinion. No. Would it be 4? No, Scream 3 is the worst. Scream 3 is the worst. I just watched them all this year. You would think I would remember, but I'm Cody. Anyways, guys, Scream 5 was so good. I wish they had just called this Scream 5. I hate what they're doing with the marketing of Scream 6, how they're changing the M into IV or whatever the fudge they're doing. I just had so much fun with this. I thought the legacy cast did great. I liked a lot of the new members of the new cast. Fun kills. Some things definitely didn't line up. Some things were very convenient. Some things you just know couldn't be the killer because their bodies are too big, or they're doing things that they're physically not capable of doing because they're not that strong. But who cares? It's fun. Um, yeah, and I kind of love what it did, bringing it back to the original house. Just a really solid sequel, and I had so much fun with this. I really did. Um, yeah, I just had a blast with this movie, and I bought it on 4K. I don't have it around me anymore because it's packed up in a box because, well, I'm moving. 16 days, I think, guys. I am getting very close to starting over in life. I'm very excited for 2023, but we're not going to get into that right now because we're talking Scream 5. Scream 5. Why couldn't they have just called it Scream 5? I don't know. Anyways, guys, I really did enjoy this movie. I like where it took the characters. I'm worried with Scream 6 not having Sidney Prescott back. I think we're still getting Courtney Cox, though. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm open. I really like that teaser for Scream 6. I did see it because it didn't really spoil anything. So, yeah, guys, I really enjoyed Scream 5. It was a bigger surprise than I thought. I figured it might be good, considering the directors are the ones from Ready or Not. But this one really surprised me. I thought it was way better than that. It's at like a 59 in Metacritic. I think it should be higher. It is such a strong movie, in my opinion. Such a good horror movie. So much fun. Just everything you want in a horror movie. Everything you want in a Scream movie. I thought this movie did it. I loved it. I really did. Next up, Brian and Charles. One I have seen, the last few weeks, I think it was. I had heard, again, from Dan Murrell. If you've not checked out his channel, Dan Murrell, check him out. He does a lot with box office, and he does review movies and such like that. But I saw this movie, Brian and Charles, because he recommended it. And just immediately, within 5 minutes, I'm laughing my face off. And then the invention of Charles comes along, and it became so sweet, but still continuously funny. I really did love it. I kind of expected this one to be in my top 10 of the year. Maybe it's the fact I haven't had enough time to sit with it that it didn't make my top 10 of the year. Well, I still haven't finished. Maybe it will make it. I don't know. I don't think it's going to make my top 10 of the year, but it definitely was a surprise. I did not expect this weird movie about a man who is so lonely, inventing a robot to be his friend, to be so funny and charming and just beautiful. And it really is such a great film. If you haven't checked out Brian and Charles, you should really check this one out. It is just funny. It's a wonderful little friendship movie that is very funny. I laughed many different times watching this movie. Next up, Jackass Forever. Now, I've liked the other three Jackasses a lot. I liked Bad Grandpa. Really funny movies. What surprised me so much about this one, though, is how much they brought in this kind of like message of friendship and friends getting together and being friends and building friendships, building bonds. This movie has that. It's also just incredibly funny. Incredibly funny. I was laughing so much. I had the theater to myself watching. I watched this one time in theaters, and I had the theater to myself and was just rolling. There's also some really gross moments that had me standing up and pacing back and forth, stressed out, covering my balls because owie. Some really owie things happen. But then it was also just so funny. The Silence of the Lambs bit was so good. The bees, the bear was great. What else? Even the beginning with the Godzilla dick. This movie just has me rolling every time I've watched it. I watched this one again twice, I think. I've watched this one twice. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Again, it's not trying to be an Oscar winner. This movie almost did make my top 10 because it is just so funny and such a great message about friendship that it's such a good movie. It really is. And I can understand if people don't want to watch this kind of stuff because it is people just hurting themselves, but I had a good time, and I think people can have a good time if they check it out, really. Um, like I said, I liked the other three, but I think this one, for some reason, just I almost like teared up at times because it just bros hanging out together, and it just I feel like I have had days like this hanging out with my bros that we've done stupid stuff. Obviously, not to this level. None of us have went to the hospital because of stupid crap that we have done. But there's definitely stuff we have done that are completely stupid. And I just love that I had this warm feeling as I was watching this movie and still laughing my face off. So, absolutely great movie, Jackass Forever. Check it out. Next up is Bros. This one, for some reason, I just didn't think was going to be that great. From a director of Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Neighbors. So both movies I love. So I shouldn't have been so surprised by this one. For some reason, I think maybe the fact... First of all, the trailers were not very good for this movie. I will say that. The marketing for this was terrible. That was part of it. I don't know what it was necessarily. I'm not homophobic. But maybe part of it was just the fact that there was this gay love story and it wasn't connecting with me through the trailers. I don't know. I really don't know what it was. I ended up loving this movie. I've seen it a few times now. It's on Peacock. Peacock. That's a good place for it to be on. Anyway, I really did enjoy Bros, guys. This movie is very funny. It did have a lot of heart to it. It is way too long. You can tell it's produced by Judd Apatow. But it is just a really good, charming, fun movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. And again, I laughed quite a bit. And I didn't expect myself to be laughing as much as I did. I really like this movie. So if you have not checked out Bros, seriously, check this one out. It really is funny. Last one I have, is this last one? This is the last one that I have. This is one I actually just got done watching before I did this, and I had to put it in here. I will have more of a full review of this one out. I'll give you a little bit of the plot, I guess, since I haven't really reviewed this one. But basically, Aubrey Plaza plays a woman who is trying to pay bills and trying to make ends meet, struggling to find a job. And basically, she has a coworker say, hey, go to this place. Within an hour, you can make $200. What this ends up being is her taking stolen credit cards and buying stuff with it for the people that are paying her. And that's the movie. And things go from there. And I could not believe how thrilling this movie was. This movie, such a great lead performance from Aubrey Plaza. And just seeing her go further into being a criminal. And you understanding why she's doing this and getting it. And seeing how much she doesn't want to be a criminal, but how much she has to be a criminal to get what she needs to do in life and to make ends meet. Such a good movie. This one's on Netflix, I believe. I think it's on Netflix, or is it HBO Max? I can't remember. It's on a streaming service. Find this one out. This one's a good one too. I absolutely recommend this one for sure. So yeah, guys, those are the end of my top. There were 10 movies that I just found really surprising. I'm not going to say they're the top 10 necessarily, but they're movies that are definitely surprising that I think you should check out. This shouldn't be too long a video, right? Like I was hoping, yeah, less than a half hour. Perfect. I didn't want this to be super big, but just long enough that we can get 10 movies that I just think were super surprising and you should seriously check out. I'm going to have the disappointments of the year coming up. Top 10 worst, top 10 best, all that fun stuff. I'm going to have a bunch more videos coming within the next few days here. I'm probably going to upload this one. And by the time you're watching this, I'm probably done filming my my other ones. Or some of them. I don't know. One of them. Something. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, night, whatever time you're watching this. Hope you are enjoying your almost New Year. Hope you're enjoying your drink. All that fun stuff. So yeah, guys, that's about all I have. Yeah, I hope you have a good one. Please, please, please subscribe and share and like. I think I'm at 76 subscribers. I want 80 by the end of the year. That's 4 more. Come on, get me 4 more. Pretty please, guys. I won't ask any more for quite a while until I make a goal towards the end of next year. So, yes, please like, share, subscribe, and hey, I'll see you real soon because I'm making another video like probably right after this.